Why do certain seniors die early while others seem to defy age? It's not just about luck or good genes. Often it comes down to habits, choices, and subtle traits that build up quietly over time. In this video, we're not talking about rare diseases or freak accidents. We're talking about clear, measurable behaviors that dramatically affect how long and how well you live. You might not even realize some of these traits are working against you, but once you do, you can start making changes that count. Because after 70, the gap between thriving and surviving gets wider. But the good news is, it's rarely too late. Just knowing these 5 red flags can shift your path toward a longer, healthier life. So stay with us. These aren't scare tactics. These are real-life signals you can recognize and respond to starting today. Number 1. Social isolation. One of the most powerful yet invisible predictors of early death among seniors is a lack of genuine human connection. When someone spends most of their days alone, without regular conversation or shared laughter, the body starts to interpret that silence as danger. Over time, this isolation doesn't just cause sadness. It triggers real physical stress. Cortisol rises, blood pressure climbs, immune function weakens, and without the buffer of social connection, small health problems can quickly become life-threatening. Consider Paul, a 79-year-old widower who spent years eating dinner in silence. No phone calls, no drop-ins, no small talk at the store. His neighbors said he was independent, but behind closed doors, loneliness became his most consistent visitor. When he caught a simple cold, he didn't tell anyone. By the time someone found him, it had turned into pneumonia. Seniors like Paul often downplay their isolation, but inside, the emotional weight becomes physical. The human nervous system is built for community, and when that's removed, the system begins to shut down, quietly, gradually, and fatally. The good news is, reconnecting doesn't mean going to parties or having dozens of friends. Even 1 or 2 consistent, meaningful relationships, like a weekly chat with a grandchild or regular coffee with a neighbor, can reduce the risk of early death. If you still make an effort to stay in touch, to listen and be heard, you're doing more than being social. You're protecting your life. Number 2. Lack of movement. There's a quiet danger that hides in plain sight, and it shows up every time a senior spends most of the day sitting. Lack of movement, even if it doesn't feel serious at the time, slowly dismantles the body's ability to recover, respond, and endure. Muscles weaken, joints stiffen, circulation slows, and soon a short walk feels like a mountain. Seniors who avoid movement often say they're just resting, but what the body hears is surrender. And that surrender, especially after 70, accelerates decline faster than many chronic diseases. Take Jean, for instance. At 84, she stopped going on her morning walks because she felt a little tired. Within months, her stamina dropped so dramatically that even standing to cook felt exhausting. It wasn't an illness, it was inactivity. Her doctor said that more seniors die from the consequences of being sedentary than from heart attacks or strokes. That may sound extreme, but it's the truth. The human body is meant to move, and when it doesn't, it starts to fall apart. But here's the hope. Movement doesn't have to mean running or lifting weights. Just standing up and stretching, walking around the block, doing simple arm circles while watching TV. All of it counts. These small, consistent movements tell the body, I'm still here, I still need you, stay strong. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 3. Emotional isolation. One of the most dangerous and often overlooked threats to longevity is emotional isolation. It's not just about being alone, it's about feeling alone, even when others are around. After 70, many seniors slowly retreat from social circles, lose touch with friends, or stop making the effort to connect. Over time, the silence settles in, and with it comes a cascade of health consequences. Studies have shown that chronic loneliness can increase the risk of death by nearly 30%. That's not a small margin. That's a red flag waving from the heart of the body's stress response system. When emotional isolation sets in, cortisol levels stay high, sleep quality drops, immunity weakens, and the desire to care for oneself begins to fade. Think about Walter, 79, who lost his wife and slowly stopped answering the phone. He said it was just easier that way. But within a year, he was barely eating, rarely moving, and had lost the will to attend even the smallest family gathering. It wasn't grief alone, it was disconnection. On the other hand, seniors who regularly engage with loved ones, attend social events, volunteer, or even just chat with the cashier at the store, show stronger mental health, better memory, and longer lives. Emotional connection acts like medicine. It stabilizes mood, gives structure to the day, and reaffirms the idea that life still has meaning. If you're over 70 and you've started pulling away, even a little, pause and ask yourself what that withdrawal is really costing you. Because the price isn't just boredom, it's vitality, resilience, and time. Number 4. Irregular sleep patterns. One trait that consistently shows up in seniors who experience early decline is a disrupted or erratic sleep routine. This isn't just about being a night owl or having the occasional restless night. It's about chronic inconsistency, going to bed at wildly different times, waking frequently throughout the night, or spending hours in front of a screen before trying to fall asleep. After 70, the body's internal clock becomes more sensitive. It doesn't bounce back as easily from late nights or fragmented sleep. That's because our circadian rhythm, the system that governs when we feel awake and when we feel tired, relies on steady patterns. Disrupt those patterns too often, and everything from metabolism to mood to heart health starts to suffer. Long-term studies have found that seniors with irregular sleep cycles are more prone to memory loss, falls, depression, and even cardiovascular events during the early morning hours. Consider Elelena, a 76-year-old who used to watch television until 2 or 3 a.m. She'd often nap during the day and drink coffee in the late afternoon to compensate. Her doctor noticed her blood pressure was erratic, her focus had declined, and her energy was unpredictable. But once she committed to a fixed sleep and wake time and shut off screens an hour before bed, her body began to stabilize. Her mornings were clearer, her mood brighter, and her risk of sudden health episodes dropped. Good sleep is not a luxury at this age. It's a form of medicine. If your sleep is off track, that could be your body's way of waving a red flag. Rest is when healing happens, and if healing is delayed night after night, the risk of serious outcomes, especially those that happen quietly in sleep, rises without warning. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 5. Emotional withdrawal. Another quiet but dangerous signal often seen in seniors who pass away earlier than expected is emotional withdrawal. This isn't just about having a quiet nature or enjoying solitude. Many people are naturally introverted and perfectly healthy. What we're talking about here is when a person begins to pull back from meaningful emotional interaction. They stop initiating conversations, avoid family gatherings, or become indifferent to events that once brought them joy. Over time, this creates a feedback loop. Emotional detachment leads to less stimulation, which then reinforces feelings of isolation and even hopelessness. The body hears that silence. Hormonal responses shift, immune function declines, and the mind begins to shut down from lack of engagement. Take Richard, an 80-year-old who lost his wife and gradually stopped talking to his children. He didn't answer calls, skipped birthdays, and rarely left his home. Within a year, his health took a steep turn, not from any diagnosed illness, but from a subtle erosion of will. His doctor said he was physically capable of living longer, but emotionally, he had already started to let go. Contrast that with someone like Thomas, a 78-year-old widower who still texts his grandkids, leads a local book club, and mentors younger neighbors on woodworking. His emotional life is active, full, and connected. Emotional vitality isn't about being cheerful all the time. It's about staying engaged. When someone loses that spark, their health often follows. Emotional detachment is a dimmer switch on life, slowly turning down the brightness until the system no longer has a reason to stay on. Final thoughts. When we think about living a long and meaningful life, it's easy to focus on things like diet, exercise, or medication. But what often matters most are the quiet patterns, the daily choices, the small habits, the subtle mindset shifts that reveal how well we're really aging. The 5 traits we discussed today don't scream for attention, but they speak volumes about the direction your life is taking. If you recognize any of these signs in yourself, don't panic. Awareness is powerful. It gives you the chance to shift, to re-engage, and to choose differently, starting today. Whether it's moving your body more, getting out of the house, expressing emotions, or just picking up the phone to call someone you care about, it all counts. Aging isn't just about watching numbers climb on a calendar. It's about staying connected to your purpose, your people, and your own sense of vitality. Every day is another chance to keep that spark alive. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.